Hello and welcome to Future Library. I'm getting very good at saying that introduction this week because I've recorded a whole load of episodes. Listeners may be relieved to know that this is possibly the last of this week's episodes that I'm recording. Not relieved as in, oh no, they've all been poo, but more that they'll be relieved to hear me stop going on about how I've recorded a whole lot in 1 week. So maybe I'll go back to, recording them actually on a weekly basis rather than stockpiling a lot. But anyway, this is episode 40 and my guest today was supposed to be on episode 1. We finally made it happen after 38 intervening episodes, and we've got it going on here today. I'm joined by Suzywan. How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks.
Excellent.
I didn't knew I was supposed to be first. That's great. Sorry, I'm so late. I'm forced it. No.
Yeah, that very first episode, that one that you were going to be on with Miquette from Strawberry Anarchy, was the very first episode. And things kind of, how life gets in the way and things,
Yeah, I just got took in a kind of tornado, we can say also.
Yes, absolutely. So, obviously, well, I say obviously, I know a bit about you. Some of the listeners won't know a bit about you. So tell us a bit about yourself.
Let's start. I'm French and I live in Sweden since 7 years. I live in Stockholm and, I've been doing many different things that lead me to now having a brand. So I was doing electronic music and graphic design and art. And then I met my current boyfriend, which has quite an hobby, which is, we can say, advanced hobby. He used to build a machine for fun.
Right.
And then we started to have, he built like a laser cutting machine. And then we had fun with that. And we were doing like necklaces for fun or like out of acrylic or something. And then someone wanted to buy it for a store. And then she came back every month, like, I want more and more. So then I was like, okay, let's start a brand then. Let's see how that works. This was in 2010, 11. Then we officially launched the brand in 2011. And we are still doing, and we are doing great. It's amazing.
So, and the brand, I believe, is Suzywan Deluxe? Is that
yeah, it's called Suzywan Deluxe because my music artist name was Suzywan in the first place. So it's some kind of upgrade, we can say.
You see, this is how I first came across you, is back in the days of MySpace.
I remember.
I remember kind of coming across your music on there, and you've kind of always been kind of slightly on the radar since then. I think it's one of those things where, there were certain people who you could have befriended through MySpace and things like LiveJournal that kind of got pulled over into new social media things like Facebook. And you were one of them. You were one of the people that got kind of, when I kind of changed over.
Yeah, but I'm totally like one of this MySpace kid because it actually completely changed my life. I was in southwest of France, in Toulouse, which is a small city. Culture is active, but not international cultures. And I was doing music, very specific type of music. It's really like a small corner in the category of something, like some kind of breakbeat, happy electronica that sounded like 8-bit but wasn't 8-bit. So I didn't have any case really or a group of people to stick to. And then MySpace came, and then I started to find people in the same area as me all over the world. Japan, Italy, and UK. And then at the same time, this low-cost company like Ryanair, EasyJet started to be set up. So MySpace plus low-cost flight company, meaning that I started to go everywhere outside France. And yeah, that made me come to Sweden in the end. That's a bit like the the result of MySpace.
So yeah, it's one of those things that I kind of occasionally go back and look at MySpace now, and it's from my point of view, has become almost completely unusable. But
Yeah, I don't even dare to surf there anymore.
no. I think what kind of was the final nail in the coffin for me with it was that I went back and my profile on there had changed completely. The way they'd set it all up was completely different, and all the kind of coding I'd done in the background was gone.
Yeah, no, that was so much fun.
Yeah, we
spent so much hours in that.
Yeah, this is something that kind of younger listeners won't be aware of. They won't be aware that MySpace back in the day, when it was kind of the equivalent of Facebook, I think.
Yeah, that was like the big deal.
It was the place to be, wasn't it? But you could change the way the page looked by changing the HTML in the background. You could paste it.
Everyone started to learn HTML.
Yeah, the little basic bits of HTML tagging was all you needed to change practically everything about the page. So, there were some horror stories of what pages looked like, but some looked really good, and you could make the page look really nice.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they then changed it all, broke all that, and are now where they are now, which is kind of virtually nobody using it, and it's disappeared. But it still holds I think. I have a fondness for MySpace still because of what it was.
Yeah, exactly. It's like emotional. I met so many people. I met them there, and then I met them in the real life, and that was something completely new at the time. Mm-hmm. Like talk to someone online and then meet them, and you know what I mean? Now it's so common.
Yeah, everybody just takes it for granted now, don't they?
Yeah, that's true. So it was completely like magic.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I met my wife online, and back 10 years ago, if you said that to somebody, they'd have been like, oh, and they'd act like you were some kind
exactly.
of weirdo.
That's weird. Yeah, that's so funny.
And now they're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like, are you gonna get married online next, I guess?
Online marriages.
Oh, we made a baby, virtual baby. Oh,
a virtual baby
that's fun.
made.
Yeah.
A digital baby made online with the two people never actually meeting in.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure how that. I'm actually. The more I think about it, it's one of those things that immediately, when I was about to say, I'm not sure how that would work, part of my brain then started to give suggestions to how that would work, and then I thought, yeah, that's probably not a good idea. It involves sending things through the post and all sorts of stuff.
Oh.
But you could do that. You could technically have children with somebody, and never actually physically meet them, just by sending things through the mail. You could send, you could send your half of the startings of a child through the post.
Right. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, my wife's sitting here looking at me pulling a face of kind of some disgust.
No, you don't do that.
No, you don't say that. You go, oh, good, the package has arrived. No, but yeah, she's looking very, very disturbed. It could work. She's eating a biscuit. What? It would die?
It would die. The sperm would die.
Oh, you had to give it a name, didn't you?
No, it has to be frozen and all that shit.
You can send an egg in the post.
Yeah, it'd be frozen. Yeah, the cat's pointing out you couldn't send an egg in the post. That's true. So it would have to be the male part of the makings. I'm sure you could work out a way of, because if you can make cans of beer that can self-cool and cups of coffee that can self-heat, I'm sure you could make self-freezing things to send to the post.
No.
No, maybe that's best left in the realms of my twisted psyche. Okay. Okay, so we'll move on from that. But overall, the online thing, maybe, we'll stop short of actually reproducing via the internet, but, otherwise you could do pretty much everything else. I think we'll agree that you can't have children over the internet. Yeah? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
And I want to go for that.
You wouldn't go for that, or you would?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't want that, no.
No.
Well, I think there's there may be some people who would, but if there are, I'm not sure that I want to know them. Cat saying they're sick and wrong. Yeah. Yeah, they would be. Kat, my wife, is actually sat next to me. She hasn't got headphones in, so she can only hear my half of the conversation. So she's only really responding to my sick wrongness. But yeah, so you're saying the internet and cheap flights really did change the way the world works, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It could have opened up so many possibilities to people.
Yeah, but I think it's still growing in that way, because now I start to look. This low-cost company, they were just going in Europe, for instance, and now they extend more. Like, soon I can go to LA for €500 or something both ways, which is nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then it's like, oh, I'm next door. It's next door. Like, I can just go there next week, and next week I'm on the other side in Korea or something.
Yeah. So are you finding that, so I mean, obviously with Suzywan Deluxe, you're saying that it's, kind of built up and it's become a brand now. I mean, looking at the website, I mean, it's reached the point where things are kind of modelled. You've got professional photography on there. You've got a lot of products. I mean, has it reached the point where you're able to make a living from it?
Yeah, it's gonna reach. The thing is, like, I've been building and investing everything all the time. Okay, we can. This might sound crazy, but for someone that built a company might understand that. I'm actually not. My goal is not really to have a salary. I rather have keep investing and extending and having more fun, because that's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna have a salary, of course, but it's not. I'm not doing this for the money, obviously. Now I have an employee, like part-time. She started actually Monday, and that is awesome. I really liked it.
You've reached a point where you've actually employed somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
So not only have you done well enough to be able to keep on doing it, which is really the thing, isn't it? I mean, because I think it's not.
Yeah, I think it's in the beginning. Like, I've been doing this like full time for 1 year, 2 year and a half, 2 years. I don't remember exactly. 2 years maybe. But then it pays. Now it's rolling, and it's just gonna grow now. But it took time because I was learning everything. I didn't knew how to. I didn't know what I was doing. So yeah.
So you've kind of learned it as you've gone along. I quite like that the origin of this is that your boyfriend built a laser cutter, and you started doing it just for fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're like, oh, what can we make with the laser cutter? Oh, let's try this. Let's try this. Oh, then somebody starts to like it, and yeah, I mean, it's something, because I've been kind of watching the brand develop over the last couple of years, because it did start out with kind of cut acrylic things, didn't it? So they were like one colour or two colour, and now you've got these kind of really complex designs with. Yeah,
exactly. Now I'm also like, I learn more and more about materials, and I pushed it very much in one direction because I was still limited budget-wise. But now I think from next year, now we have the first new product, which is more advanced in a way. Like, we have, I can start to order custom-made chain just for the brand. It's like a gradient chain. I really specifically order it. No one has it. It's just my brand that has it. Mixed with acrylic, printed also. That's Technica figured also. And not so many people are doing this. That's very new, I think.
It looks really good. And the thing that I quite like, that there's still kind of a nod back to the kind of electronic music you were making. There's because I mean, you've got the necklaces that are like, representations of various synths and drum machines.
Yeah, that's new. That's a new. It's like, how do you say in French? It's like, you call it a clin d'œil. It's like, I don't know what you call this. But I did it just for electronic music festival, and I wasn't supposed to push it more than this. And then unfortunately they couldn't be in the festival because time issues. So they were laying here in the studio, and I was like, for Christmas, oh, okay, I put them out and see what up. And everyone just loved it. They just gone like sold out in a week. I was like, okay, that was unexpected. But I believe also because I'm from the music network, so then I have a lot of friends that are still in that network, and that is like emotional also object. If you can't buy the machine, maybe you're gonna have this necklace or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. I mean, I'm looking at the website while we're talking, and it's the stuff on it's not anything that I've seen anywhere else. It's something that
Yeah.
you know, there's kind of references to online memes. There's
Yeah, there is like different lines. We have this, we started with the bling. What I call the bling is like this a bit extravagant hip-hop plates, you know, like boombox and text and stuff. And then we have one line which is more like a club.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have another line which is the music machine. Another line which is the jungle, which is more like animal-based, animal print. And then we had the black and white line that was in the beginning with the Art Deco, also gold and black. And we have one which is called Collector, and this is a bit like LOL of the web.
Mm-hmm.
This is very fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the collector page right now, and you've got things like Grumpy Cat on there, and you've got E.T. with Michael Jackson, and you know, Mr. T with a star background, and a kitten with laser eyes and stuff. It's, you know, it's stuff that these are things that, because my wife and I have talked about this before, is that people kind of our generation now, the things that we keep as kind of ornaments and things like that in our houses aren't the things that our parents' generation did or the people before that. Like, instead of having a ceramic dog on my side, I've got a plastic R2-D2 from Star Wars, and I've got a TARDIS, and I've got a red robot.
Yeah.
And all these things are things that I like to have around me. And I think it's that really kind of pop culture has really kind of infused all of that, and a lot of us live with that stuff around us, and it makes sense to have kind of pop culture and, you know,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and it's a bit like when I look at this collector line, like with MacGyver necklace and so, it's a bit like having internet materialized. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. You know, if you ever, well, obviously, I mean, the way to go then would be into 90s animated GIF style stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to do this, actually. It's a matter of time. I had this project to do animated GIF necklace.
Would you do it with the kind of lenticular thing so that you could...
With a screen and so, yeah.
Yeah, that would be, with a little screen.
Yeah, the real shit. With like USB, and you can load your own GIF. That is like wicked.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I just need time. That's my problem.
Well, I think that's a fantastic thing. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm also looking here at the Worn By page, and you've got some quite big names weighing it, including Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, in the beginning we got really lucky. We did a custom for him that was saying, "I don't need no bitch." that was the name of one of his songs.
But that's the kind of publicity you need, isn't it, when you're starting out? You know? Yeah,
exactly. It helps out just for the store, so they can say they have something to say about the brand, especially when you are new like this. Yeah. When people knows, then it's just rolling, I think. But
yeah, so you've reached a point now where it's sort of self-sustaining.
That was pretty much from the start, actually.
Fantastic, isn't it? And there was, now I may be about to get this completely wrong, but I seem to remember reading about Fresh Yo. Is that linked to you?
Yeah, that is a music label I started 1 year before the brand. I started the music label to release my own music, because I got really frustrated of other labels that were like, we're gonna release your stuff. It was just hard and waiting very much, and I was like, I just want to give it away online, just take it, you know. Then I started this label, net label we call it. And then I started to release my friends' music compilation with 20 different artists, and then it started to be a lot of work. I didn't really have time to do music anymore. So that was a bit like, and then 1 year after I started the brand. So that was like, okay, I can't do these both things. The brand needed so much focus, especially in the beginning. So I was collaborating on the label after a while with my friend that I met on MySpace. At that time, he was handling all the mastering and so on. And then I was like, look, you handle it. It's like, make it like it's yours and we see what happens. I don't have time for it now. So, and he wanted to have a music label. That was his dream. So then I was like, look, it started. It's been a year. The network is there. Like all the people we met over Facebook, MySpace, they were grouped there, kind of. And now he's rolling with this. He's pushing artists. They are going on TV on Italy. It's just amazing. I just actually have no clue what's going on. So much that we don't have the time to talk to each other.
Yeah. So you've kind of you've given birth to this label and then passed it on to somebody else, and it's
that was an internet baby. Yeah. There you have
it.
There
you go, an internet baby. So that's an internet baby without unpleasant fluids being sent through the post.
And this guy is gay, so it doesn't work.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. So you've had an internet baby with a gay guy.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and it's a little record label that's gone on to do its own thing, and that's
so now it's based in Italy, and now it's gonna be, I think, time. I think now I'm gonna start to go outside my office, if we can say that, because now I have this employee and she can take care of orders. And then my plan is to tour again, like I was touring when I was doing music.
Right.
So then I want to tour with the brand, and I think that then if we do event in Italy, then Fresh You is coming back on the game. Everything's back together.
Fantastic. So I'm very conscious that I've been saying the word fantastic a lot today. It's become my
That
word.
is a very English thing, so that is fine. I can just say a Swedish word if you want.
Go ahead, say a Swedish word.
Like precis.
There we go. Fantastic. And I said it again. Oh, damn it. It's one of those days where I woke up quite late. And didn't really kind of get my head into what I was doing because I just did a podcast just before I spoke to you, and my brain started to work at that point. But it's one of those days where a certain word that I'm not going to repeat again has sort of stuck in my head and is just coming out of my mouth every time there's a gap or that I want to express that something's good. What was that, Kat?
Fantastic.
Oh, she said it now. So things are good. So when you're touring, are you going to be doing music, or are you going to be touring kind of doing...
I have stopped doing music, so I think I'm gonna have fun. Maybe I'm gonna DJ. This is something I can handle. And I'm gonna meet my people, like people that are selling my stuff and I want to meet me. Because we have customer, like shops, that I haven't met. And it's good for them, and it's also to take the brands out more than just online or something a bit unknown. I think if you give like a fun party to the people, then they remember it, and they give like a nice memory, I guess.
Well, it gives it puts a face to it, doesn't it? It
exactly, yeah, and then it like make it exist even more. So, yeah.
Sorry, I have to apologise. Kat is actually choking a bit in the background here. Are you all right there, Kat?
I have a piece of pepperoni stuck.
Ah, okay. That's
I like it.
I think she's actually going to leave the room to avoid coming through on the podcast.
Aw.
But this is what the podcast does. People who've listened to the last 40 episodes will be now used to this kind of thing. That, you know,
It's like hanging out in the living room or something.
absolutely, and that's exactly what it should be like.
That's
It
nice.
should be like sitting, talking to your friends in the living room, and things happen. Like on the last one I did, which will be for the listeners, last week's show, the child of one of the people I was interviewing was in the room, and you could hear them talking, and we've had dogs in the background, and parakeets, and cats, and,
Nice.
you know, fire alarms going off, and all sorts of things. And I think it's nice. It's nice to give a little bit of background as to what's going on in the places. So I like that. I like that. That's what it's become. You know, it's nice when things start to kind of take on their own life, which is a bit like your jewellery thing. It's taken on its own existence, and you know, it's the sort of hard work parts that you were having to do at the start to actually get people to know about it. You've kind of got past that a little bit now, and you're at the point where you can continue to have fun with it.
Yeah, exactly. But that goes with like when the cash come in, I guess, because then you can also choose the people you want to hang out with more like work-wise, and you can start to support stuff you like more, and and stop being stressed or worried about how it's gonna go, and so.
Yeah, so you're a bit more relaxed when you wake up in the morning. You can go, everything's working.
Yeah, we can say that. Not still, maybe. But, because I think then you get more pressure also, because you need, it needs to roll. You can't really let it go, but, then you get bigger investment, I think. But I think I just learned now that, well, nothing bad can happen really, so. Worst case is losing a bit of money, and that's just money, so it's not so bad.
Yeah. So you can, you've done it once already, so you know that if anything dropped back, you could do it again. So
exactly, it's in the beginning everything is new, and I was freaking out at each around the corner. Really, I was like, oh my god, what is this? And there was, no, that's just fine. It's just a box or something, you know.
Well, it's a bit like, I always think about it as being a bit like when you start a new job and you kind of go, and the first day you don't know what you're doing. And for the first maybe 6 months, you sit there going, they're going to find out that I don't know what I'm doing any moment.
Yeah, you just pretend,
Yeah, they're just, everybody, and then you realise, and a task comes onto your desk and you're like, I don't know how to do this. And you have that horrible feeling of panic in your stomach, and you know, all these things.
Exactly.
And then 2 years later, the same thing drops onto your desk, and you're like, yeah, whatever. You just do it. And
it is exactly. So now if we can call this a breaking through point, that's what it is.
It sounds to me that maybe it's fortuitous that we had this kind of gap of a year or so between originally you're supposed to be coming on and you actually coming on, because it sounds like we've got this kind of point where we've got you right at the point where it's really kind of picking up, and I think that's an exciting time.
Yeah, exactly, and this is fun. Then you feel more comfortable with it, because in the beginning I was like, oh my god, this is crazy, like. Everyone was like, yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
They were not, people were not really believing in it. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Vegas next month. See ya.
And then they kind of have to believe in it at that point, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Then they're like, shit, you made it. Yeah.
So it does make it a bit better that, because I mean, I've had conversations with people where they're just starting something and it does finish with the kind of, oh, well, I hope it's successful. Good luck with it. And it's quite nice to be able to say, well, it has been successful.
Yeah.
I don't have to wish
but
you luck.
it's a bit like you learn how to make it successful. If you give up, then you stop. That's just what it is.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, if you just decided to stop doing it, then it would be, it just would stop, wouldn't it?
Because I think that most of people, they drop it too early.
Mm-hmm. So you're keeping the pressure up and keeping on. You're not allowing yourself to get kind of resting on your laurels. You're kind of going, okay, I need to keep pushing forward.
It's like, it's like as long as you are out there, active a bit there and there and there and there, then it's piling up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was about to say
Yeah,
fantastic.
you were about
Almost
to say.
said it. I went fantastic.
Did you say?
And then I said it. Oh, damn it. Again. So, for people to find your work online, obviously the place to go would be initially Suzywan.com, I would guess, yeah?
Yeah, it is.
That's SUZYWAN.com. I will put a link to that in the information at the bottom.
Yeah, you can put the link right away of the shop because I think the main thing is like so much pictures and stuff. I'd rather go to the shop.suzywan.com. It's direct to the point, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. What I'll do is I can put all of it in. That's the beauty of it. I can put links to all of this so people can see the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're gonna release a new collection soon. I'm just waiting for this amazing picture. They're gonna be so nice.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be about 3 weeks. Then we have the spring summer collection.
Oh, nice. So you've reached the point where you're having collections.
Oh yeah. The thing is, like, I get like I did it like too much. I think when you start a brand, you start with one collection, no? Mm-hmm. And then you do maybe another collection twice a year, something. Well, I had no clue. I'm not from the fashion world at all, neither products and shit. So I started the brand with 5 collection. I was like, yeah, I'm still gonna do this. It's fun. But I didn't have any customers. So then I surfed for a year on this 5 collection. Instead of doing one, and I think it was good because from the beginning, then there was some content from the beginning.
So do you think it actually benefited you having kind of accidentally started with more than maybe some people would?
Yeah, I think so, because then you can see right away, okay, she have different styles. And they don't lock you in, okay, she's just really hip-hop or something. Mm-hmm. You know?
So, again, variety has played in your favour then?
Yeah, exactly. I've been very lucky. Like, it's like this, how do you call it? The one that doesn't know, the ignorant winner or something. There is an expression for that.
You've accidentally,
Yeah, it's like this naive person full of gold in the hand, he doesn't see it, but he has that kind of.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think that's great. I think the whole being, it sounds like that things have started kind of almost accidentally, and you've made decisions not knowing what you were doing, and they've worked out as being the right decisions, but you didn't know they were the right decisions at the time.
No, exactly.
And they've become the right decisions because now, with retrospect, you can go.
Yeah, it becomes your way of doing things and who you are also.
Yeah.
So.
It's good, and it's worked. And that's,
You can't. For me, it's very hard to do it like by the book. You know what I mean? Like, especially here in Sweden, have you been in Sweden before?
I've not been to Sweden. It's one of the places I'd really like to go to.
It's even more. You do it by the book, and you don't step out. You don't do that. It's really, but since I'm not from here, I don't need to care about this, so which is good. But it pushes you like a really big pressure. Mm-hmm. Like, oops, I'm so not doing it by the book, But yeah, then I managed. I managed to make it work.
You get by. You make it work despite the cultural pressure to do it by the book.
Yeah, you have to, because you're like, okay, I'm so not doing it by the book, and this needs to work now.
Yeah. So what's coming up next then? So you're saying you've got this new collection, the spring summer collection.
I have this new collection, and we are starting to do fairs. So we are going to do a fair in Las Vegas next month. I think it's like the biggest fair in the world, but once again, I have no idea what I'm dealing with, and this is gonna be fun. And then I come back, and then I think I'm going to go to Luxembourg, do a small event, and I'm gonna have a release party here in Stockholm. And I think we are talking about one in Torino, in Italy. So we will see now what's going to happen.
That'd be good. I was going to say, I mean, in Luxembourg, it's almost impossible not to do something small, just given the size of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. It's it's a bit like this, like, it's also this thing by the book, this place, this is, you think, oh no, don't go there, or this won't sell there, and then, I don't know, you found someone that know how to do it somehow, or I have a customer there, and she doesn't even have like a real shop. It's, her mother has it's a beauty salon or institute, you know. And they have like she started a jewelry corner there. And she's ordering to me like all the time. So I want to go. People, then I have like her customer, they want to meet me. So yeah, I'm going to go there, see how it is.
You see, I've only ever been to Luxembourg once. Sorry, just having a quick drink. I've just been there once, many, many years ago when I was very young. We were on holiday with my family, and we went through Luxembourg on the way back. We were coming back from somewhere else.
Okay.
So all I remember of Luxembourg is a train station. We didn't.
I have no idea where's there. Yeah.
Yeah, we were driving, but we stopped somewhere, and I remember being in a train station, quite a big, clean kind of train station. I remember it was quite sunny, and that's about my entire memory of Luxembourg.
Yeah, that's nice.
But it's it's the smallest country in Europe, isn't it? So.
Yeah, I think so. After Andorra or something.
Yeah, I think it's one of the smallest in the world, as far as I'm aware. So, very small. I will find some information out about Luxembourg later on, just to sate my curiosity. So, so people need to go to shop.suzywan.com. I will also point people at the Fresh Yo label. Before we finish, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about that we've maybe not mentioned?
I don't know. Do things you like, maybe. That's what is good to know.
Yeah, I think that's a good piece of advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, do things you like, and it's nice when other people like it as well.
Yeah, and then you worked it out by itself, I guess.
Fantastic. I've said
There you said
so
it.
there we go. I've said fantastic once more. Okay, well, it's been a pleasure speaking to you at last.
The same. Thanks very much.
I hope that, we'll get you back on in maybe a year's time again.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Actually, you know what we should do is, at some point in the future, we should have you and Maquette on and reenact that first episode as it should have been.
Oh?
Yeah, we'll get you both on, and
We can. You should talk to my collaborator from Fresh Yo.
Yes, I should. Yes, I will.
You
I will
should.
I'll drop him an email, and
Yeah.
that will work. That'd be excellent. I was about to say fantastic, and I didn't. But
No.
I did. Just now.
All right.
Right. Okay. Well, all that's left to say then is a future library. Goodbye, and thank you very much for coming on, Suzywan. And
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for downloading this episode of Future Library. Future Library is brought to you by petpiranha.com and is hosted by myself, Alex Botton. The podcast is free, but if you do want to show your appreciation, feel free to go along to alexbotton.co.uk and click through to music, where you'll be able to find things that you can buy, or go to asmallglassghost.co.uk where you can buy my latest music. Episodes come out when I feel like it, mostly weekly. But that's it, so thank you for listening.